Hello Rachel, welcome to your mock exam feedback. So what we'll do is we're just going to start with, here we go, your results. Okay, so you got 29 out of 49, which is 59%, which is actually a pass. So well done you. The pass was 55%, so you got over that. Now here are the totals for each section, and what we'll do is I'll just go through each section with you, just to make sure that you're cool with that. Right, so question 1, you got 4 out of 4. Question 1 was all about the terminology, and as you can see, you got them all correct. So well done you. Okay. Number 2, you lost 1 point here. Can you see you got 5 out of 6 because for the last one there was no example, so it was about curriculum alignment, and you said this refers to whether or not you are teaching. So what you said there is right, but for the example you could have said something like, for example, on a BTEC course or on GCSEs, everything is directly related to what they study on the course. Okay. Now let's take a look at question 3. Question 3 was about concept questions. There we go. So concept questions. You'll be pleased to hear that there will be no concept questions on the final exam. Okay. I do think concept questions are important, so after Easter we're going to revisit this and hopefully do this more thoroughly and meaningfully for you guys. But for the final exam you do not need to worry about concept questions. Okay. So for the concept questions, let's see how you did. In this section you got 3 out of 6 because you didn't write any concept questions for initial assessment. So let's just go back and see how you did here. Okay, so you just wrote questions for your own subject area, which sounded really good to me, so I gave you 3 points for those. But if you look at the instructions say write 3 concept questions for the following term. So you had to write 3 concept questions for initial assessment. So for example, is this assessment done at the beginning of the course, at the end of the course? Is it done in order to find a student's needs, or is it done in order to decide what course is most suitable for the student, etc. Okay, so here the problem was just instructions. I suppose you weren't too clear on what you had to do. But well done with the concept questions for your own subject area. Yeah, good stuff. They were good. Okay, so question number 4. What was question number 4? Assessment. So 3 examples of how assessment for learning can be used in the classroom, making reference to your own subject area. Let's see how you did. Question 4, tick. Oops, where are we? Tick. Yeah, tick. Okay, tick. Yeah, very clear examples. You kind of ABC'd them, which was really helpful. Which gave you a 5 out of 5. Okay, so well done. If you take a look, yep, question number 4, you got 5 out of 5. So that was, let me see the question again. So examples how assessment can be used in the lesson. Yeah, good stuff. You did that one really well. So well done, Rachel. Okay, now we're going to move on to question 5. Now question 5, you got 0 points because you didn't do it. You simply didn't do it. So I couldn't find your answer. So you just go from question 5, which is here, all about assessment, to number 6, and then if I scroll down to the end, I still couldn't find that question. So I don't think you did that one, hun. So let's talk a little bit about it. I'm not sure if you didn't do it because you weren't sure how to do it, or because you just forgot to do it. Right, so this is all about checking instructions. So it's not concept checking, but it's checking instructions. So the idea is that, you know, yeah, if you just say, has everybody got that? Yeah, that's not a question because that's not a valid question because we don't really know if they got it or not. It's hard to tell, isn't it? You know, so that's something you need to talk about, why that question's pretty rubbish. But then also what you need to do is, so if we look here, so it's got 1 mark for each identified problem and 2 marks for rephrase example. So what could you say instead? So this is something that you might see on the exam. So so you would have to give an example of instructions that you would give to your students and how you would check back that they've understood the instructions. So for example, like, okay guys, what are we going to do first? Are we going to open the bottle first, or are we going to cut the hair first? Sorry, Rachel, I know that's a rubbish example, but you get my point, hopefully. Okay, so question 6. Right, question 6 was a tough one for everyone. Okay. So the collection of marks to fill up records is given greater priority than the analysis of pupils' work to discern learning needs. So in this article, which I think you should read again before the exam, the person who writes it is quite jaded about the education system in terms of, you know, what people in education are more interested in is just putting marks, ticking boxes, filling in results and getting results, rather than the actual needs of the students and the analysis of students, how they're doing, you know, and the feedback that we give to them. So the idea is that you need to agree or disagree with this man, and you know, many people actually do agree that there is too much emphasis on results and marks and grades, and not enough emphasis on student work and student needs. And the thing is, you know, so I mean, this is something to think about. Is like, you know, why do we place such an emphasis on exam results? And you know, it's got a lot to do with funding, success rates, achievement rates, that kind of thing. So that's so you could talk about that. Let me see what I gave you for this one. So number 6, I gave you 3 out of 8 because I said in this section it's unclear whether you agree or disagree with the statement. Your supporting statements don't directly relate to the quote as they focus more on just whether exams are good or not. So let's take a look and see what you actually wrote. So you don't agree with this, but then you say this does not show individual needs and it does not show a true reflection of learners' ability. So I think what you should have said was, I agree with the statement because it does not show individual needs. And then you talk a lot about assessment. So exams, if an exam is good or not. But I think, and you know, you talk about here, she is, however, a fantastic therapist. So a lot of what you said here was about focusing more on exams, and I think for this it would be interesting if you could look at the wider context. So exams happen in the classroom, what happens at the institution, and what happens nationally speaking. So you know, we don't do exams just because the teacher decides to. We do exams because people way high up ask us to do exams, and they ask us to do exams because we need to collect data. And why do we need to collect data? So I think look at the much bigger picture for this one. Okay. And number 7 was about, let's see, number 7 was about getting students to self-assess and how you could justify it. Let's see how you did. You were saying, yeah, tick, tick, tick. Oh, well done. So you got 9 out of 9. Okay. Do you know what, Rachel? I just realized that I don't think I gave you enough points. I think I didn't get question number 8. Because anyway, let's take a look at question number 8 and I'll go back to your total. Okay. Right, question number 8 was 2 measures to reduce anxiety. You got C, it's not even here, but you got 4 out of 4 for it. So let me put that in now. 4 out of 4, well done. So let's do the maths. 4 plus 9 is 13, 16, 19, 22, 22 plus 5 is 27, 27 plus 4 is 31. So actually you got 31 out of 49, so well done, you got more than 59%. I'm really, really sorry about that. I'll calculate that later. But yeah, well done. You did that really well. So actually, you did a pretty good mock, Rachel. Well done. Okay. For your action points, I just said ensure that you answer all the questions on the exam and that they reflect the questions. So you know, for number 5, you just didn't do it. So on the exam, make sure you do it. And then also for number 6, this whole thing about collecting marks. Talk about the collection of marks and why we do it and the impact that has on teaching and learning. Okay? But well done, Rachel. You did really well. For the final exam, take a look at the email that I sent and kind of do a bit of revision with GIST tasks, because that might be on the exam, and it's in the email that I sent. Okay. Right. Well done, Rachel. And if you have any questions, give me a call. Bye.